If it is or if it ain't, it's going to come out.
Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you are listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is March the 19th, 2022, and today the topic is giving. Yes, giving, everybody. Well, happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. I hope that you all enjoyed yesterday, the episode of God, Sex, and Love, the talk show featuring my guy, my brother, Kelvin Sleeps Carter. I hope you guys enjoyed that conversation, getting to know him a little bit more and everything like that. Let me see, not too much to report from me for yesterday. I guess I kind of tried to chill-ish. Little man was kind of, he was acting really interesting yesterday. Like, not that he was super bad or anything, but it just was like, son, like when we tell you to do something, you do it. You know what I mean? Or when we tell you not to do something, don't do it. There was these moments where I was kind of communicating with people on the phone and whatnot. And of course, when I get on the phone, then that's when he wants to try to act up or do little things that he know he's not supposed to be doing. And it's like, you don't want to be on the phone while I'm trying to have like I guess, get information from someone. It's kind of like a business call. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be on there like, you know what I mean? So stuff like that is like, come on, kid, come on now. But aside from that, I mean, yesterday was cool. I pushed through and worked out, so that's another thing as well. Whoop whoop, Let me see. Anything else to share from yesterday? Not that I can think of it in a moment, but I'll let you know in the after show if it does come to my mind. However, let's get into this talk about giving. So this morning I'm not say I was distracted-ish. I mean, I remember listening to the prayer meditation and whatnot. But I mean, I guess the inspiration today comes from like multiple things I saw. So one thing I want to shout out this morning is there's this place called the Grocery Spot. I saw someone shout it out, and I've shared it on our social media as well. The Grocery Spot. I don't know if it started already or if it's here in Atlanta, but basically it's a place that you can get free groceries. I thought that was great. Their website is thegroceryspot.org. I'm not affiliated. I don't know anyone there, but I just know somebody that shared the place. And I did get a chance to look at their Instagram and whatnot. But really, really cool concept. I'm glad that someone is doing that. That sounds great. And like I said, I'll look into it a little bit more and whatnot. But y'all can check it out, especially if you're here in the Atlanta area, and if somehow you've come across this and you're in need of that, then it's available to you. It's called thegroceryspot.org, and from my understanding, it's free groceries, y'all. So that is a blessing. And so that, on top of some other things that I saw and heard this morning, I just kind of was, I don't know, I guess maybe somewhat convicted, but then maybe on behalf of Christianity kind of convicted as well, because it's like, we should be known as the most loving, the most giving, the most Christ-like people, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that these people with the Grocery Spot aren't affiliated with Christ. I don't know if they are or not. But like, how much more should we be known for that? Like, how many more free grocery places should there have been, besides this being created now? And then it's like a new, like, oh wow, this is, you know what I mean? In 2020, this place is being created, when it's like who could have been put out a free groceries for people? Now, don't get me wrong. Again, I've always heard of food pantries and whatnot when it comes to the church and whatnot. Now, but I I've never been to it. I don't know. Now, I'm under the impression that there's some type of fee involved with food pantries. Maybe somebody could tell me or whatever that knows. But now I have heard about things like that. But very seldom have I heard of straight up free groceries. Uh, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that it never happens or anything, but I don't know. It just got me thinking about giving. Um, Now, the interesting thing is, I came across several verses that I'm going to share with you all this morning, as well as the Go Deeper section has quite a few verses as well. And I probably could have kept going when it comes to like writing verses about giving. Um, at least from what I was seeing this morning, there's a whole lot to be said about this. But yeah, that was the inspiration, and so let's get into it, y'all. Let's see what the juice is regarding giving. Another disclaimer as well, y'all. I mean, again, I feel like this isn't a new topic. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that I've talked about giving before in another capacity. I know I wrote a blog about giving. It's man, I don't remember the name of the lady right now. Her or I don't remember the name of her blog right now. Um, but yeah, I mean, so I've shared my different perspectives in regards to giving, you know what I mean, and how I've kind of struggled with it at some point as well, um, and everything like that. I think I think now my relationship when it comes to money, um, is shifting. You know what I mean. I am starting to see it a little bit more as a tool, um, versus uh, something that I need to hold on to and build. How about to say stack up or whatever? You know what I mean? I guess I am seeing it a little bit differently these days. Um, so I mean, as I receive, I tend to, even if it's not give, but I mean, I guess it depends on how you look at it. I guess, but I tend to kind of, I receive and then I, you know, um, I guess give, but I mean, perhaps I'm giving in exchange for services, but um, I don't know. I don't know, but still somehow, again, when this subject coming up in my mind, and as I was reading these different verses, obviously, some personal conviction comes in my heart as well as just for the church, right, for the Christians and whatnot. So, but let's see what the Bible got to say. I done did enough talking this morning already. Let me see what the Bible got to say. So 2 Corinthians 9:7 says, each one must give as he has decided in his heart, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. Um, well, that's some juice right there for me. That's some nice juice. I mean, because again, you can feel bad or convicted when you're like, man, maybe I haven't given as much or whatever the case is, right? We start doing the comparison game, which we should not do. I know. So that's one thing. For me, this is some nice fresh juice to know that at the end of the day, I need to be giving cheerfully and not feeling like I'm pressured to give, not feeling like I'm reluctant to give, which I felt both in the past, and everything like that. Um, and just to reiterate, if someone hasn't heard my previous talks about giving or seen my blog or whatever that the blog that I wrote, um, long story short, the times where I felt the most cheerful giving, um, was times when I was prepared to give, if that makes any sense. Like there were times where I guess I'll share this testimony again. So long story short, again, when I was working downtown in Atlanta, um, there were times that I would see homeless people or people that were, begging on the streets and things like that. And but I was going there to work, right? Or so I would either see them before I went to work, or I would see them after I just worked and made whatever funds that I had made that day or whatever. And sometimes I would get tipped and whatnot. And so for me, it was a little bit annoying and a little bit, I mean, let's just stick with the word annoying. So it was a little bit annoying to have someone ask you for something that you just got, You know what I mean? And that you work for, you know what I'm saying? And I felt bad about it because I'm like, Lord, I want to be able to do for people. I want to be able to give. I want to be able to, do things. But at the same time, I'm like, the struggle, right? So, anywho, um, at some point, uh, I guess maybe in preparation or whatever, it just came to my heart and mind to put something to the side, right? So there were times where I was able to like, I had a brand new coat that um, that I had once that I only used it for a photo shoot to promote it to sell, and never got used again. So and it had been sitting in the closet. So there was a day that I put it in the car with the intention to give it to someone that needed it. Same thing with some money or whatever. I kind of put that to the side with the intention to give it to whoever needed it. And so the people that approached me, it felt good to be able to say, hey, yes, I am prepared to give you this. You must be the person that I prepared to give this to. You know what I mean? So those were times I felt the most cheerful as I gave, because it was like, yes, you are who I was looking for. You know what I mean, or whatever. So that was one thing. Or let me see another time I felt cheerful. Times when I felt like I was kind of again walking in my purpose, right? Doing the things that I felt um led to do, or using my gifts and whatnot. I feel cheerful in giving in those things as well. Like there were times where I would be um now again, I don't know how people look at it or whatnot. I mean, technically it's giving if you think about it, but what I was doing at that time, I was like putting on children's shows for the libraries and whatnot, and obviously it was a free um thing. You know what I mean? It was free, and but I was paying the actors that were going with me. I was paying for everything, but I felt great. You know what I mean? I felt great to be able to take the little bit that I had, put those things together to give to the people in these different communities, give to these children. Um, the gift of art, the gift of hopefully creativity. Just all that. You know what I mean? So those were the times feel like I felt the most cheerful to give in my life thus far. I guess people find a lot of different ways to give. You give of time, like my brother was talking about yesterday. If you guys tuned in to this episode, if not, then check it out. Um, but he mentioned that he gives of his time, and he also gives, money financially and whatnot as well. Um, so yeah, I mean, there's ways to give and everything like that, but let's keep going. So then 2 Corinthians 9 and 6, it says, the point is this: whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and whoever sows bountifully will also reap bountifully. So yeah, I mean, I believe I've seen this in my life, and you know I guess it's reiterating here that basically, the more you give, the more you receive. Um, and vice versa, I guess. Um, that might be Pope this morning, that part, but just something to keep in mind there. Proverbs 3 and 27 says, don't withhold good from those whom it is due when it is in your power to do it. Um, yeah, I mean, again, I feel like this is good juice or whatnot, because again, we can get convicted, we can feel bad, and we can be like, man, X, Y, and Z about whatever the situation is. But I think the part that stood out to me the most this morning is the part that says, uh, when it is in your power to do it. Um, because sometimes it might not be in your power to do it. You know what I mean? So you can't necessarily beat yourself up about that, or whatever. Um, and I know for me, sometimes it gets kind of, not say awkward, but a little bit, when it comes to me as a woman trying to help a man or something like that, because there's safety involved in that as well. Because unfortunately people take advantage of people and whatnot, and so it just, I mean, what you're able and capable to do, and So I mean, I guess whatever you're able and capable to do that. That's what I feel like that verse is saying. But hey, y'all can, let that marinate on your own heart, souls, and minds this morning. Um, Let me see. Proverbs 19:17 says, "Whoever is generous to the poor lends to the Lord, and He will repay him for his deed." Um, Now, not that God owes you or nothing like that. Even though, I mean, on one hand, like when you think about, if you just take these words for what they're saying here, um, saying that God, the Lord, He will repay you. Um, Not that, how can I say? I mean, one of the first thoughts that did come in my mind is like, oh, let God be the one that owes, not the person, but the Lord owes. Um, I don't know. I think you have to be like next level thinking when you think about that, because it's not that God owes you, but at the same time, you know, there's something beautiful about allowing God, allowing Him to repay you for whatever the deed is, versus expecting the person themselves to repay. Um, Let me see. There's another verse that kind of can give another perspective of that, so I'll wait till I read that, I guess, to touch more on that. So, let's go to Hebrews 13:16. It says, "Do not neglect to do good and to share what you have, for such sacrifices are pleasing to God." Yeah, share what you have. I mean, um, I guess in this moment, I'm reminded of that rich guy, right? The one that he, I guess, that wanted to follow Jesus or whatever, but then when Jesus asked him to sell his items, he went away sad, and he didn't do that because I guess he had a lot. I guess he was rich and had a lot of possessions or whatnot, so he didn't want to do that. I wonder, like, what he thought the rest of his life. Like, I wonder what the rest of his life looked like. Uh, After making that decision or whatnot. Like, did he regret it? Did God? Um, I don't know. I don't know what I mean. It doesn't really say in the Bible what the rest of his life looked like or whatnot. But I don't know. It's just something I thought about and wondered. I guess now as I read that verse and yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess if these are the type of sacrifices that you make, again, this is what pleases God, basically, is what that last verse is saying to me. Um, let's keep going, y'all, because like I said, plenty of verses this morning, plenty. Proverbs 28:27 says, "Whoever gives to the poor will not want, but he who hides his eyes will get many a curse." Ooh. Oh man, that might be some Pope this morning. We might not like that part right there. You know, um, and I mean, and to be honest, in a way that does kind of convict me, because I know there's times where, um, you would see somebody or whatever, and it's like, and I guess you would turn the eye or whatever. So, I mean, now again, if it's in your power to do so, and if you could do so cheerfully, I mean that part's better, I guess. Uh, However, I don't know. That's a little bit, like I said, that's a little poke this morning, at least for me. Because I don't want to be cursed out here. I don't. So that's something to think about. Luke 6:30. It says, "Give to everyone who begs from you, and from one who takes away your goods, do not demand them back." That's probably some more Pope this morning. Like, I mean, now I don't know if this is the same as stealing. Is that the same as stealing? Um, Someone that takes away your goods, do not demand them back. Uh, so I don't know. I don't know if that's the same. Um, it might be. It might be. Now, it also says do not steal. The word does say that. Um, we're not supposed to be out here taking people's possessions, things that don't belong to us. But I guess if they do, right, this says do not demand them back. So, I don't know. I'm just, I don't know. I came across it in the morning. I went ahead and wrote it down because I just was like, it stood out to me this morning. It's something to truly think about. That might be Pope again, something we might not like, but it does say that. So we all can go deeper and see what more is going on in around that verse if we need a little bit more clarity on that. But the last verse I want to share this morning before the Bible verse of today is Deuteronomy 16:17. It says, "Every man shall give as he is able, according to the blessing of the Lord your God that he has given you." So, if nothing else today, friends, let's be inspired by the grocery spot. You know what I mean? Let's be inspired by these words, right? When it comes to our giving. That's the juice this morning. I think overall, I hope that this encourages you and inspires you in your life. And plenty, plenty, plenty more verses in the Go Deeper section to let marinate on your heart, souls, and minds. But yep, that is the juice. Now, the Bible verse of today is Psalm 46:1. It says, "God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all soon. No, we're going to talk to you all on Monday, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.
Everyone is stuck at home, but life is still happening around us every day. Birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, and celebrations. Send your friends and family the gift of wine from the comforts of home. Wine shop at home with Miracle of Wine. Wine, gift baskets, wine accessories, and more at miracleofwine.com.